Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome back to another top 5 Microsoft add-on video. Now I realise I haven't done one of these videos for a while, so there's plenty of add-ons to go into. If you're new around here, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I do Microsoft Flight Simulator videos like this all the time, and something I'm starting up now is to guess the city and airport I'm taking off from at the start of the video, like now. Pretty easy one this week, I'll admit, but anyway, write it down in the comments. Be sure to hit that sub button, but now let's get into our first add-ons. Now the TBM 930 is not necessarily an aircraft I fly a lot, but when I do, I'm always thoroughly enjoying it. However, like most of the aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, there is realism issues. This mod solves that. It adds numerous features, from fixing the flight model to a certain extent, sorting out fuel flow, landing gears and some lights as well. And also, most importantly, they've added some animation for the cargo doors, which I think is a very nice feature. Here we are taking off in very foggy San Francisco. You can't see too much from the outside, but trust me, the plane flies much better. Looking in the cockpit, you can see you now get a co-pilot sitting with you as well. You can disable that by pressing the big red button here, and it goes away. You can also do that with yourself, which is always quite fun. Now with this, the cockpit can seem a bit dark when you first get into the cockpit, but all you need to do to turn on the lights is go up here and twist this dimmer switch. We're here back on the ground to take a look at the animated and working doors. So down here we've got the cargo door switch. There you go. You can hear, we even get some noise effects with it, very nice. And there you go, you can see on the front of the aircraft we've got the cargo door opening. In addition to that, the aircraft door opens now and you get some nice little steps come down. There's plenty of fantastic features in here. I could probably do a whole video on it if I really wanted to, because they've updated the autopilot in some cases, added plenty of functionality into the cockpit. It is really nice. Now let's move on to another add-on. Okay, so a flight tracker I really recommend is Volanta. It's made by the Orbex company, or they had something to do with it, and I have to say it's my favourite flight tracker so far. It looks really sleek, really modern, and it does a great job at tracking your flights, whether it's on Microsoft Flight Simulator or even X-Plane 11. Looking how many flights I've made, you can see I've done quite a bit with it. I haven't got too much time on my hands, but when I do like to do a nice flight on the flight sim. Mostly short hops across the UK, but I've also managed to squeeze in 2 long hauls, one down to Dubai and one over to LAX. The great thing about this is it kind of acts like a social network as well. You can add your friends so you know where they're flying and you can go fly with them. You can also set up your own fleet. You can see the aircraft I've used the most is Golf/Delta Echo Lima Alpha. Volanta is free to use, as with all of these add-ons in this video today, and I highly recommend it. It's probably around there with SimToolkit Pro, but down the line I imagine it will trump it because it is really fun, and it works with X-Plane 11 and Microsoft Flight Simulator simultaneously. It also tracks your landings as well, so it acts as a landing rate monitor as well, although of course you do have to exit. It does a very good job at tracking your elevation and speed as well, and is integrated with SimBrief, which always makes it a lot easier. There's your 2 add-ons already, let's move on to number 3. Okay, so an add-on I use literally all the time now is Flight Recorder, a free replay tool for the sim. Now this was the takeoff I did in the A320 at the start of this video. I've just gone and replayed it using the TBM, but of course you can swap aircraft to make it fly like that. Now all you need to do with this is record your flight by clicking the record button at the start of every flight you do, and then once you've finished your flight you can click stop replay. You can then either save it to your files to look at it later, export it, or load a previous replay. You can then scrub through this and select the point you want to replay, such as takeoff. Click resume replay. Sometimes it can be a bit bugged out, for example because we had our landing gear up there, the landing gear's got to come back down, and then it will of course go back up, so it can look a bit buggy there. It's not perfect, but hey, it's a free replay tool. It does the job very well. If you want to stop your replay and continue off from where you are, I'll click stop replay. And you can see I can take control of the aircraft, banking to the left. Overall, it is simply a wonderful add-on. I highly recommend it. It beats FS Playground by a mile because, of course, it's freeware. You can download it from flightsim.to with all of these add-ons. They're available in the description. This is probably the top one out of this video. So simple but so effective, it really does work as intended. Let's move on to our fourth add-on now. So your eyes aren't deceiving you, you're looking at a helicopter in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now I've looked at this aircraft before, but you can see right now it's actually starting up with some realistic sounds. Now it's not 100% there to start up, you do need to press Ctrl E, and it is a bit funny, but now you can see the rotors are spinning. We've got an improved cockpit, as you can see. We've got those avionics turned on, because I didn't turn them on before, and you can see, my goodness, they look very nice. We're just hovering here so I can show you them, but then go take it over for a flight over London City. Now the flight model isn't perfect, at times it can be a bit bugged out, and you don't seem to get any movement out of it. Just be sure you don't spawn in on the end of a runway, because that seems to be the problem for me. Flying over London City, the main issue seems to be speed. Once the speed drops, the aircraft does seem to fail a bit, and the flight model isn't 100% there. But hey, it's a helicopter in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It does do the job as intended. As you can see outside, it looks very beautiful. The cockpit is also starting to come along nicely. The developers are clearly working very hard on it. It is almost an impossible task, and yet they're pulling it off very well. So you have to give them that. It's looking really nice, sounding pretty good, not the best, the sounds could be improved. But hey, for VFR flying, and of course helicopter operations, it does do the trick. I highly recommend it, that's why it's in today's video. A great improvement since my initial video on it, because now it's actually flyable on the modern flight model. Let's move on to our fifth and final add-on. Okay, so here we are, we're looking at our fifth and final add-on you need for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, I've talked about this add-on in a video before, that one being my top 20 add-on video, which is quite old now. But this add-on really does keep getting better and better. Pushback Helper is a must-have freeware add-on. I do highly recommend it. Definitely up there with the likes of Definitely up there with the likes of Flight Recorder, it is just so helpful. Now you guys will be aware that the default pushback system in Microsoft Flight Simulator is a bit of a pain in the backside, and if you're on VATSIM or IVAO you have to tune your radios to use the default version, which can be incredibly annoying. This removes the need for that by adding its own integrated pushback system with this very helpful application. All you need to do is run the exe, it opens up almost instantly and connects using SIM Connect, which is in the default SIM. You don't need to do anything there. And from just being able to control pushback, it can now control everything from the jetways to fuel to doors. Let's open the main door now to see how it works. There you go, you can see we've got the main door opening. You can also open the emergency door and cargo door, but we won't do that today because you guys can do that. Now, the best feature about this, in my opinion, is tug speed and also the ability to pull your aircraft forward. This means you can really transport your aircraft anywhere on the ground, and it really does add up to the realism if you want to put your aircraft into maintenance or whatever. Let's get our parking brake off now. We don't even need to go into the cockpit to do this. There we go, parking brake's off. There we go, we're going away now. You can see you can control the tug speed mid-tug, so you don't even need to do anything there. There we go, we're going as fast as possible now. Turn it out to the left. You can see the aircraft. It's going pretty quick. We'll slow it right down. And you can see it responds almost instantly. The great thing about this is you don't need to call up ATC asking for them to stop the pushback. That, of course, is quite unrealistic. And then, of course, you can disconnect your tug. And it disappears. If you wanted to go forward, you get your tug connected, and click forward, and there you go, you can see the aircraft comes forward. We would have a tug in front of us now if we didn't get rid of it, but anyway, the tug was slowly driving up to us there. This really is a fantastically simple but highly effective add-on, and I do think those are the greatest, like Flight Recorder for example. Download all of these right now, they're available to download in the description. I have to say, this has focused on more essential add-ons that are really going to improve your flight sim experience. So there you have it, more top 5 add-ons you guys must have for Microsoft Flight Simulator. All good in their own right, all really helpful, all fantastic in my opinion. Once again, what airport was I flying in at the start of this video? I'd like to say a massive thank you to you guys watching this video, and of course, shout out to my business class and first class members. If you want to become a channel member, click the join button next to the subscribe button. Shout out to my first class members, Simon Schmidt 320, Whiskey 2 Shots, Penguin Who Plays TV, and BK Cockpits Limited. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And check out my Amazon affiliate links for all the equipment I use down below. But for me today, that is all. Bye bye.